Hi guys, my name is Noni Matigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the statement or the so-called statement that Gwabini apparently made and the bombshells that he was dropping when he was being asked about that. Anyway, before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you are supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So today, the video is focusing on the testimony that shook the courtroom. Gwabini had dropped one of the most exclusive revelations yet, and it goes straight to the heart of the alleged fabrication, coercion, and manipulation inside the Senzo Meyiwa investigation. When Mnisi pressed him about the statement he supposedly made, Gwabini's answer was a bombshell. Mnisi begins by revisiting the timeline. He points to the third occasion when the day Sergeant Mulawudzi said Dlamini will fetch you. Gwabini confirms it. Then Mnisi goes straight to the jugular. And then Gwabini, the statement that I made was the one where they said I must transfer whatever Moses said and transfer it to me. In fact, that is the same statement that they wanted to do. And then he says, whatever Moses said that you said, he said on his statement about me, then you can take that and transfer it to my statement. And then Mnisi fired the most important question of the day. And then they were writing on a document they claim was written by Musi, or that's what Gwabini said, right? And then Mnisi was asking because he wanted to understand the process that was taken when the statement was being taken from Gwabini. And guys, let it sink in. He says the police were copying a statement allegedly written by Musi Sibiya and transferring its contents to him, Gwabini. Yes, that's what he said. And then the knockout line was that, Gwabini, do you know the content of that statement? He said no. And I didn't even want to know at the time. So imagine being told to sign something you haven't read, something allegedly based on someone else's words while you are in custody. This is exactly the type of testimony that threatens to unravel the prosecution's entire narrative. One thing that we must also understand is that the other thing that Mnisi tried to uncover there was, did Gwabini understand what he was doing? Does he understand the process of taking statement? All of that. And Ubaloyi was not happy with that. And for me, that goes straight to manipulation, because this is someone who doesn't understand how this entire process works, how this entire police investigations works, what is expected of him. Gwabini had no idea what needs to go into that. And Ogininda took advantage of that, including Ubaloyi, because he was also apparently, that was before Ubaloyi was there. But at some point he did took advantage of him. That is what I was understanding. So what does that mean? If Gwabini is telling the truth, it suggests a pre-written narrative, statements allegedly being cloned or recycled, a possible coordinated effort to align suspects' version. That's exactly what is happening in the Senzo Meyiwa case and the investigations of Geninda. Manipulation, statement engineering, coercion. That is what is happening, because there is where all of them are being promised either to be assaulted or unalived or whatever, but there is always something. And then everyone, if you remember the version of accused number 1, accused number 2, and now this, they did whatever they needed to do to save their lives. They did whatever they needed to do to save their lives. And this fits perfectly with the patterns described by Ntanzi and Musi before. So there is no way that all three of them are lying. There is no way that all three of them are lying. And all three of them, including Ubabu Zungu, they all feared for their life, but not from anybody else, but from the police. The fear was instilled by the police. It was the police that they were scared for, not anyone else, not an accused person, not whatever. They were scared for the police. I don't know if you guys understand that. They were scared for the police, and it's such a shameful situation. It's such a bad realization when you think about it and be like, aren't police supposed to be the people that are protecting us on the streets of South Africa? But now we must also be scared of them. We must not trust them. We must be thinking twice when we are dealing with the police, because you could either die or threatened or coerced or manipulated by the same police. By the same police. So if such things are happening to people, then how the hell are we supposed to trust them? How are we supposed to trust people that are putting civilians' lives in danger? Yo, guys, so that is something else. For me, that was corroboration of accused number one's versions, for accused number two, or including Ubabu Zungu. They all feared for their life. Whatever they did it out of fear, because there was that threat of, it's either you're going to end up in jail or we will deal with you. I did a video already about when he tried to come and speak the truth. Ukwabini, Umukhola threatened him. Those are not small matters. Those are not small factors. Those are serious, serious crimes from people that have an oath in their offices. Do you understand that these people have an oath that says protect, but now people are feeling scared of them, the same people that are supposed to protect them? Do you understand that? It's such a shame what they are doing. Such a shame what they are doing. I don't think these police even realize Uguti. I don't even think they realize the pains that they caused the people. I don't think they realize how painful and the trauma that came with it. The traumas that came with it, I don't think they understand them. They traumatized the guys a lot. And to top it up, about something they have nothing to do with. About something that they have absolutely nothing to do with. And at this point, when you are watching the trial, the one thing that you keep realizing is that South Africa's most watched trial, the Senzo Meyiwa case, the testimonies don't just answer questions, they open wounds. And or on this day inside courtroom, a single exchange sent shocking waves through the legal community. Because wow, the things that you hear, the things that you hear. So what we got to understand is that the police are the one that dictated the statement. It's them. It's them. Since 2014, the death of Bafana Bafana captain Senzo Meyiwa has haunted the nation. The investigation that followed was made by accusations of delays, inconsistencies, and political interference. Over the years, central figures, including in fact, they kept changing police ministers. They kept making promises. We will solve the case, blah, 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 blah. Instead, now, years later, what we get is and now Sifiso Kwabini having alleged torture, forced statements, and mostly shockingly predetermined narratives. That's what we are getting, so that they can give South Africans what they want. That's what they are saying in a nutshell to us as South Africans. Take this and leave us alone. Do you understand? So there is also something that is very scary when it comes to that. Very, very scary. something that was supposed to be a routine taking statement or process. Now, instead, what Gwabini described was something else entirely: intimidation, manipulation. And when Mnisi asked those questions about that, is there a statement that you ever made? Gwabini, the statement that I made was the one that they said it was written by Muzi on my name. And I said, transfer whatever was said by Muzi, transfer it to me. That was painful, guys, because he wanted to get out of there. This wasn't just an allegation of coercion. This was an allegation of copied narrative, a template where one suspect's words were allegedly recycled and imposed onto another. That's what happened. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.